Still can hear me?
Mr. Chair?
Okay, so let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. And Madam Secretary, call roll.
Yes. Chairperson David Heredia? Vice Chairperson Raul Velasco?
Present.
Commissioner Victor Barbosa?
Present.
Commissioner Carlos Jose Barrera?
Present.
Commissioner Jason Gavilanes?
Present.
Thank you.
There we go.
I'm having trouble. Can you hear me, Mr. Chair? I'm sorry. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I was able to hear the roll.
I can hear you too.
And I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, but if Ms. Chavez can lead us in the.
Sure, I can hear you. And yes, please repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Yeah, and Commissioner Gavilanes, can you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, would you place your right hand over your heart, please? Now begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, Republic
For which
it
stands
one nation under God, liberty, and
indivisible,
justice.
for liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. And Madam Secretary, was the agenda posted according to state law?
It was posted according to law. Thank you.
Okay, and this is the time given to public to speak on agenda and non-agenda items. Were any comments received?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to read a comment received from Chantel Gomez, and it reads, good evening. Myself, along with my family, are greatly appreciate this opportunity to have the front curbside painted blue for our son. My son Jordan is a strong 6-year-old little boy who fights every day. This opportunity to have disabled parking in front of our home will help out tremendously. During the week, Jordan's brothers have practice games, which often we come home late and no parking and no street parking, to the point where I have to leave Jordan and his brothers in the home while I go park up the street. With Jordan being on a ventilator, anything can happen in those few minutes. With the disabled parking, I will be able to park and carry him into the home. I am aware that this parking space will be open to anyone who is disabled parking placard. We are hopeful that our neighbors will respect it and keep it open. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you very much, from Jordan Calderon and family. Thank you.
It seems David's no longer in the meeting. Would you like me to move forward with the meeting?
Yes, please, if you could, Vice Chair, please.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other comments? Other comments at this moment?
No other public comments were received. Thank you. That would
Thank
end
you. And I need a motion from a commissioner to close public comments at this time.
I first the motion.
And a second. Thank you. Now I need approval for the minutes of our last meeting on June 1st, 2021. I need a motion.
I first the motion.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Victor. And now, Dennis, Mr. Barnes, if you could lead us in the report for this meeting.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Commissioners.
Oh, good evening. I'm sorry. This is Grisel. If I could interrupt, sorry, Vice Chair. We're following a new procedure at the direction of the City Clerk's Office. So Secretary Sanchez will take roll call for the minutes approval, and then we'll proceed with the report. Sorry, it's a new process started today.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Madam Secretary.
I will take roll call vote for Chairperson David Heredia is not present at the moment. Vice Chairperson Raul Velasco, is
Present.
that a yes for you?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, great. Commissioner Victor Barbosa,
Yes.
great. Commissioner Carlos Jose Barrera,
Yes.
Commissioner Jason Gavilanes.
Present.
Okay, it's a yes for you then. Thank you. Thank you. We can move on to the next item.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary Sanchez. And just so the commission is aware, every action that requires approval by the commission will call vote, where your vote will be recorded as either, in support of or in opposition of the request. And that will be reflected in the minutes going forward. So thank you very much for that. And then I will turn it over to our traffic engineer, Mr. Barnes, for presentation of the disabled person parking request at 6536 Ajax Avenue. Thank you,
very
Dennis.
much. As I started to say, good evening, Commissioners, Director, everyone else that's listening. The report we received, okay. In this report that I presented for the commissioners, I included the current City of Bell Gardens policy for on-street parking for disabled persons in residential areas. It was attached to the report. I won't go through that, but basically we try to accommodate all the requests within the city, providing that the person has complied with all the requirements per city policy. We received a request from Ms. Chantal Gomez for on-street parking for her son at the residence of 6536 Ajax. The application included the written medical diagnosis from her son's medical doctor, which specifies he is disabled and unable to travel more than 50 feet, which is in compliance with city policy. And he needs either from his home or a wheelchair without the support or assistance of another person. Nor without the aids of a braces, walker, or similar support. A copy of the disabled person placard was submitted with the application, so to clarify that it's a legitimate request from the resident. I completed a site investigation to confirm the existing conditions. I've also included pictures within the report. The first one was shown in Figure 1, which is the street location of the request at 6536 Ajax Avenue. There's a long driveway adjacent to the home that serves some other apartment homes, but there's also a sign posted on one of the homes as you entered that long driveway, fire lane, and so noted in the report. I observed that. I was also observing or trying to check if there was an on-site parking. Made a check with the planning department as what the requirements, city requirements were for parking. And they explained that not every unit has to have the parking unless there's some expansion of it. One of the pictures in the report, which was on page 5 of your report, I provided an aerial view to show the existing parking in the back of the other apartment homes that are near the 6536 Ajax. The person has stated that they do not have a designated parking space for their residents, so they're parking on the street as such. That was in the figure 3 of your report. I also provided another figure 4, which is a street view of where there's space to accommodate a blue curb handicap space of 20 feet where the sign would be located. When I did my analysis, I could not find any reason to not approve this request. Comply with all the requirements for city policy. There was nothing to, when I did my review of the information submitted by the applicant, nothing to indicate any reason not to approve it. It's so noted in the report as by the letter sent to the panel that anyone with a placard could park there. So commission approves this space. There's always a possibility that if someone else down the block or a visitor with a valid ADA placard could park in that space. Hopefully that won't occur, but it has to be noted as that's what the law allows. So after careful review, it's my recommendation that the Traffic and Safety Commission approve this request for City Council consideration for the installation of 20 feet of blue curb, pavement legend, signage which would designate disabled persons parking in front of 6536 Ajax Avenue. The blue curb would begin as shown in the figures I presented on figure 4. And also some of the personal information is not for privacy reasons, is not submitted to the council, but all the other relevant information to council needs would be provided. So with that in mind, I estimated that the cost, if approved by the commission, would be approximately $500 for the blue curb painting, sign and post, pavement legend that would be put down to show that it's a ADA space. And I also provided another figure 5, a close-up view to verify the address for everyone's view, so you can see the best location. The applicant is requesting the blue curb space. And with that, I have no further information to present. I'm certainly open to any questions that the commission may have relative to this request.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
Mr. Barnes. I understand that any citizen with handicap permit can park in a designated space. Unfortunately, I'm familiar with the area. I know parking can be a struggle at times. What can Ms. Chavez do in an incident where a person that does not have a permit to park in the handicap space ends up parking there? Would she have to go about with the city or with the police department?
I think you would have to call the police department for compliance because they'd be in violation if they didn't have a valid placard in their window. Okay. The officers would be able to also, they could run the plates. They have software in their car. They can readily check that out as well as the placard in the windshield.
Okay, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, but
Yeah.
I need a motion.
I'll go ahead and motion to go ahead and vote on this agenda item.
I second the motion.
Okay, I can do roll call vote then.
Roll call, please. Approve staff's recommendation.
Okay, great. Vice Chairperson Raul Velasco.
Let's say yes for myself.
Thank you. Commissioner Victor Barbosa.
That's a yes for me.
Thank you. Commissioner Carlos Jose Barrera.
It's also a yes for me.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Jason Gavilanes.
That's a yes for me.
Thank you.
Okay, and do we have any comments from staff?
I have no other comments.
I just wanted to update the commission. This is Chriselle again. That the action taken from the last commission meeting that was presented to council for the installation of the loading zone on Gage and Ira for the tire shop and the grain curb for 20-minute restricted parking on Eastern Avenue were both approved by council, and staff has already begun with the installation. I believe painting of the curbs has already occurred, and we are waiting for the installation of signage once it arrives. So just a quick update on that. I hope the commission had a great 4th of July and spent it with family and friends celebrating safely. I don't know about you, but I was in Southgate and it was illegal fireworks galore. But anyway, hope you guys had a great holiday weekend. Look forward to seeing you in person at the August commission meeting. We will resume in-person attendance at future meetings unless there's further change in the pandemic, of course. And that is all the updates for me. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have several comments to bring up. I'm not sure if it's okay with you guys.
Yes, go ahead.
So the first issue.
Yep, right now is open to comment from commissioners.
Thank you. So the first issue is on what it is, Eastern and Gotham. I know there's that that intersection from Gotham Street coming on towards Eastern Avenue. Coming from Clara towards Jaboneria, on that part of Gotham, there's a gap in between the middle corridor, and there's been several times where I've actually witnessed accidents about to happen because vehicles suddenly stop on Eastern to make a U-turn to go back, to get back on Eastern and go towards Clara. There is no sign in the middle corridor. There's no sign that says no U-turn allowed, but yet again, there's no sign that says a U-turn is allowed. I know there is no driveway for any business or for any house, but they use that to make a U-turn instead of going to the traffic light on Jaboneria to do that U-turn. I know my wife was driving the other day and she was going at the speed limit when suddenly a vehicle, without putting left turning signal, just suddenly braking and doing a U-turn. My wife almost bumped into that vehicle. And I've seen that situation happen with several other vehicles as well. So that's one of my questions is, could we do anything about that? Because that's actually a safety hazard for everybody, for both directions on Eastern.
And this is to clarify, this is vehicles traveling on Gotham. From
No. These are vehicles driving on Eastern,
okay,
coming from Clara towards Jaboneria. Right
Okay.
where Gotham Street is at,
uh-huh.
on Gotham Street, there's a stop sign. So the people coming from Gotham could either make a left or a right turn on that stop sign. Further on that part of the of Eastern.
Yeah, there's no